Want to know how much a pressure washing business makes? What's the growth potential? And how can you start from scratch and scale it every year? Well, let's find out everything about that on today's episode. Ilia Nazarov started out with a window cleaning business and quickly transitioned into pressure washing. During this time, he was able to establish Washing Raccoons and build it into a highly profitable pressure washing business in just a matter of 4 years. Do you charge per hour? Do you charge per project? What's your biggest monthly expense?
For example, like this building, it has a balcony.
The price would go up because
Absolutely,
there's a lot of different variables.
Absolutely. It's around like a 500,000.
In today's episode, we're going to talk to Ilia about his tips for success, how he was able to accomplish so much in little time. We're also going to understand different techniques, different things that he did to stand out in this very competitive market. Really, all the things that an entrepreneur wants to know in getting into this industry, we're going to discuss it. We're going to make sure we ask him about it. What are these tanks?
When the water dries, it left no spots on the glass. That's why the clients, they trust us.
What mistakes do you think they would make that would cause them to fail? This is a must-watch for anyone out there looking to start their own business. And you guys, if you want to hear more insights from successful entrepreneurs, then please take a second right now, subscribe to our channel. And with that being said, let's go meet the man Ilia and understand his tips to his success in the pressure washing world. You guys, we're here with the owner of Washing Raccoons, Ilia Nazarov. Ilia, say hi to our audience.
Hi guys.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What a fun business. How do you end up starting a pressure washing business and why?
I came in America 4 years ago and I started my window washing business first.
Okay,
and,
so you got into...
After that, so in a year, I realized I want to do something more what I'm passionate about. And that was pressure washing and rope access business.
Why the switch from windows to pressure washing?
Oh yeah, so the regular window washing, you just doing the ground floor job and it's not that interesting. But look at these guys who work there. So they pretty much flying above the buildings and they're doing that upselling stuff. And yeah, it's more interesting.
Walk us through the evolution really quickly of year 1, year 4 when it comes to the plan.
So the first year, along with my English, so that was a school every 3 days a week.
Wow.
So, and also it was a plan to do some fundamental things for the company. Simple marketing, stickers, invoices, a CRM system, T-shirts, right? And
branding.
How you looks like. That's pretty much what you do. And also along with it, you start to care about your quality of service. And the second year, you're going higher as a more quality service, more quality clients. You presenting yourself more efficiently. You're doing bookkeeping right. You're doing taxes right. So, and here is the way. Some businesses, they doing some tricks, so that will affect your business.
I know you guys love numbers. Next couple questions would be about revenue for this business. 4 years into it, where were you year 1? Where are you today in general?
So the first year, like I said, it was 4 years ago. It was about, I guess, 50, 60. It even wasn't $100,000. So I started myself. And
how many clients was that about?
I don't remember, to be honest. So that was only residential clients, actually. And I did very, very cheap job. So, and now it's around like 500,000.
Okay.
So this year, and the team is very important. It's not only you in a company. The company itself is a team, and it's very important to have a very professional, very efficient team who will work and cover your back on the work side. So that's why the clients, they trust us. they love us, they're happy after our services, and yeah, this is the key for success, I think.
I see 2 crewmen setting up to go clean the windows of this building. We'd love to see the setup, the tools they're using, the equipment. Walk us through all this stuff. Really interesting.
Yeah, sure. The first of all, they're wearing the professional equipment for the rock climbers. It's harness, carabiners, ASAPs, IDs, and the stuff like this. So it's helped them to reach the spots which nobody can. So very flexible and very efficient. And safety.
Does every building have what it needs to properly secure the wiring, or
Not every building have it, because the building's supposed to be the building roof, and the building itself supposed to be inspected and certified with those anchors.
So not every roof has that, and if you don't have that, how do you guys improvise?
We can rig our own fall protection system here, and so it's always unique and depends on the building.
Let's talk about markets. I mean, you're in a big area like Los Angeles. When it came to choosing whether you're going to focus on residential, commercial aspects of it, or commercial only, how did you choose which direction to go and why?
So it's all about our clients, to be honest. So, and we decide to work with the client or not, depends on the project.
So you're only commercial, would you say?
We do residential as well.
You do?
So
okay.
We do residential, and we do have a few crews who work for it. About the residential and commercial, it's different animals.
Right, I would imagine.
If I can say like this, yeah. And the commercial require more specific skills than residential, but residential require more customer service
interesting.
and more detailed work at the place. So, for example, in a residential, so our technicians, they looks like a surgery doctors. Like they're very clean, they're very eloquent, I'll say.
Okay, it's a good word for it.
To keep the customer service on the top rate.
What's your biggest monthly expense today? If it's not payroll, if it is, the second question would be payroll-wise. What's the percentage of your expenses goes towards payroll every month?
I guess around like 50%.
50% payroll?
Yeah, about the 50% of the payroll. Yeah.
And that's always probably going to be, as we always hear with every business, payroll is probably going to be your always biggest expense on a monthly basis.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not a payroll, it's also bonuses, it's also commission. So we are the team, we're supposed to work side by side, and everybody's supposed to earn.
And be happy about it.
And be happy about that. Not thinking about like, oh, I need to have some opportunity on the side, or I need to have a second job.
Yeah,
it's not right.
That is important.
So, this is important.
You guys, if you haven't already liked this video, subscribe to our channel, please do so. We want to hear from you. So everything that you've heard so far, give us your feedback. Let us know what you think about what you're hearing, how it's impacting you, how it's helping your business. This is what we're here for. Let's dive into the details of pricing estimating. Do you charge per hour? Do you charge per project? Walk us through a little bit of what that looks like in your business.
So the pricing becomes from difficulty, accessibility, and the timing. It's not only about like an hourly rate. No, it's different aspects.
Is it ever an hourly rate, or most of the time never be?
Most of the time never be. So it depends on the project, depends on the location, depends on how difficult, how unique the building. Like, for example, like this building, it has a very huge edge. It has a balcony. It's difficult, but it's interesting to work with.
Right. But that would sort of rank, the price would go up because
absolutely,
there's a lot of different variables.
Absolutely, because it's a higher difficulty point, and also accessibility.
Right. What is the basic equipment that we're looking at, the rope, the harnesses? What would that cost for somebody starting out Can you give us a rough number?
So the rough number, we're looking for the cheap version from $4,000 for one man, and
Really?
most expensive we can reach 8,000.
Wow. Okay. What are these tanks?
So these tanks is kind of the filter system this guy built it himself, and it keeps water clean. You can pretty much drink it.
Wow.
It has different it has 0 minerals and no calcium. When the water dries, it left no spots on a glass or
Amazing.
Any type of surfaces.
What are some tools that have contributed to your success? Is it Facebook, Instagram? Everyone uses different things. Let's talk about that.
So yeah, we actually working by referrals. This is the most common thing in this industry. When you did something good for one person, and this person will refer you for his friends or business partners. So, but also I'll say Google. Google will works.
So you're using Google?
Yep, absolutely.
What's your monthly budget on Google today?
So I don't want to share this information, but I can tell you this, that the last year in general for the marketing, we spent around 110.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so in general for different resources. So,
but out of all the different avenues, you would agree Google would be the biggest one that contributes to more clients and
I'll
more
say
business?
it's not the biggest one, but one of them. So
What would be the other?
Another, it's social media. So the social media is Facebook and Instagram and stuff like this.
Why do most people, or a lot of people in this particular industry, in this business, why would they fail? What mistakes do you think they would make that would cause them to fail?
They just give up too early. When the first wave of the money hits them, they're super excited. Then it's always like this. Every business is the dynamic, right? And you need to adjust yourself for this dynamic. You need to just be patient and working hard. That's it.
You guys don't give up.
Don't give up. Working hard.
All our advice is really simple, but it's really powerful.
It is.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. For Ilia to come here with nothing, invest $20, get a job that netted him $180, and to grow his company to where it is now, amazing. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do so right now. Take a second, like this video, and make sure you check out all our other awesome content. Thank you.